Man, I've been reading this Justification book, and for the Progressive Reform chapter, it's literally the third time that I read it, and I still don't understand it.
Well, the Progressive Reform view is kind of like the traditional. They accept the new definitions put forth by people like Sanders and N.T. Wright. So they believe that justification doesn't refer to a change, or it refers to a change in the status of the believer, but it doesn't refer to just that. It refers to God's entire covenant action. So when Paul speaks about believers who are justified, he's talking about the believer being declared righteous. But when he just talks about justification, he means the whole thing, the whole work from Abraham to Jesus. So they also redefine righteousness. Righteousness is God's faithfulness to that covenant. So, I mean, that sort of leads them to reject Martin Luther's view of imputation. So, righteousness is God's covenant faithfulness, not like a property which is transferred from Jesus to us. So, yeah. They also believe that justification is by faith alone. So, we are justified by faith, but we are also judged by works. So like when Paul says that, when Paul says works, he means circumcision or other works of the Jewish law. So then, like when James says faith without works is dead, he means faith without the fruit. Or faith that doesn't bear fruit is dead. That's what he really means. So, I guess that's a summary of the Progressive Reform view. Like it is still Reformed because it believes in substitutionary atonement and justification by faith alone. But it's called Progressive because it accepts the new definitions.
What?
Let me try to explain it in a different way. Yo, Michael Bird, Progressive Reform. Oh, Progressive Reform, the best view in the nation. Like the old Reform view, justification, that uses new words and rejects imputation. Yeah, alright. My boy Paul says in the gospel the righteousness of God is revealed from faith for faith. Now we don't mean the righteousness of Christ is given to the believer, but God's saving action is revealed through covenant to the receiver. How do we save? From our sins we are saved. Through divine declaration of sins we are saved. Yo. Yeah. Through the union in the death and resurrection of Christ, we decide to sin and we receive new life. So don't go around and say that I'm a deceiver. What's true about Christ is true of the believer. Now, can we define justification as their act whereby God forms a new nation, a new status, a new covenant, union with Christ, free from punishment? Now, we got to talk about faith and works, because Paul and James start to make my mind's work. When Paul says works won't justify believers, he's talking about circumcision of the wiener. James says the faith without works is dead. By faith mainly means ideas in my head. Finally, we said saved by faith alone. Alone, not saved by works, but without them faith's unknown. So, do you understand it now?
Yeah, bro.
Alright, solid.
Yo.
Hey, Turtle.
Yeah.
I was talking to Amos today about Progressive Reform Justification.
Yeah.
And, like, I thought it was tight and all, but, like, I just don't... I know a little about Roman Catholicism, and I just don't think it matches up in some parts.
What do you mean?
Like, they believe in, like, penal substitution. So, like, Jesus took upon They think that Jesus literally took upon the sins of the world, like upon his physical body.
Really?
Yeah, but really in a sense, I don't think that's, I think according to like Roman Catholics, they don't believe it. They think that the punishment came from the people and like all the people of that day, the governors of that day, and the justification came through God resurrecting him after he's been crucified.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I don't totally get it.
Alright, let me just, I'll tell you like this. Yeah. As a Roman Catholic in this situation, I agree with what you gotta say about justification, but this is where we part. Progressive reform by now you've been informed. It's all about that pain, no substitution. What Jesus went through with the crucifixion. Yeah, they believe that sin was literally placed upon him by God, carrying the sins of others, including his mother's. Yeah, but you see, you got it all wrong. That sounds like a badly written song. The scriptures don't support. It's an inaccuracy of sort. Jesus was condemned by the Roman and the Jewish men. Yeah, the ones with authority were done with him on their territory. They'd be like, hey, Jesus stirring up everything and ain't cool, we better kill that fool. But the human verdict placed on him by man was not outside this big plan. It turned into vindication when Jesus, as he hanged there, made his final proclamation, screaming out, it's done! And 3 days later, God be like, get up, son! And that's where Jesus' justification comes from. It's your boy! Did you get it now?
Yeah. I think I get it.
Tight. Alright, can you stop rolling?
What are you guys doing?
Hey Carrie, have you read the Justification 5 Views book?
Yeah, I have.
I was talking to Matt earlier, and he was talking to Amos about the progressive reform, and Matt kind of took a Roman Catholic view against it. And I've been reading through this book, and it seems like there's more than one view against it. Looking at deification, and it's like he mostly agrees with the guy, but he just thinks he doesn't really use historical views at all.
I don't get it.
I'll try to explain it to you better. Deification. Here we go. Alright, I'll appreciate what Dr. Bird has to say about his view, but I have a problem I must share with you. You see, Bird is wearing a theological straitjacket. Historical views of salvation is where he's lacking. Order of salvation just isn't enough. And when looking at Paul, it seems really rough. I respect that he desires to go back to the Bible. I'm not trying to kind of fight intertribal. Yeah, merely going back to the Bible, as necessary as it is not enough to make it in the biz. For example, in Romans 1:17, have you ever thought about what it can mean? The just shall live by faith is not only found here. Take a look in Habakkuk, you will become aware that there is need for a historical view. That might be something on which you can chew. For in Habakkuk, the account is on faithfulness as much as faith. So here's the point that I'm trying to make. Biblical writers use a variety of metaphors, but in different places, the number of meanings can soar. You can see a bunch of nuances, but if you still want to argue, I welcome your responses. Alright, so you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Sabrina. What? I was just talking to Adam, who was talking to Matt, who was talking to Amos about justification and the different views, and they just don't line up with my views. Because my view is new perspective, and it completely differs from progressive reform, because new perspective is about bringing the old view back and about the Holy Spirit. Actually, you know what? I'll explain it in a different way. New perspective. Here we go. The view coming up here is new perspective, but progressive reform, is that just as effective? Here we'll be looking at our main man Paul, but what does he got to say about it all? Paul believes there's a need for good deeds. See, that's cool, but what else does that need? New perspective brings a new idea to light. What about Holy Spirit? Is he alright? This is a new title to bring the old back. Bring it on, man. Holy Spirit attack. Fulfilling the law is what we gotta do. The Holy Spirit helps us live in life too. So just sit on back there, Mr. Robert Frost. There ain't nothing bad with Pentecost. Word. So, do you get it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, why do you have your laundry?
I gotta go.
I gotta go see Amos. Amos!
Hey,
What's up?
I was just reading this book, Justification, 5 Views.
Yeah, I've heard about these views. I heard about your progressive reform view.
Oh, okay.
It's actually quite similar to my traditional reform view,
Yeah.
but I think yours might be better. But I'd like to explain to you traditional reform a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. Traditional reform. Traditional and progressive are both reform views. Traditional is old, progressive pretty new. Traditional swears by Calvin's words, who got his views from Luther, a reformist nerd. They say justification is a forensic transaction. When Christ on the cross became the satisfaction. We haven't been made righteous, we've only been declared. Because of Christ's obedience, we are without despair. Righteousness imputed on us, faith alone. But what about the works, Horton? Go home. We know a lot of stuff about the old reformers, but need some help from Paul to be a good informer. Forgot about the social context found in Paul's day. It would strengthen your argument, so what do you say?
Amateur Beats.